So today I wanted to do a draft video, a little bit of a send off to Aether Revolt and Kaladesh. Haven't put up some video content in way too long. It's probably been like a year, I think. So I know I said I was going to try to put up some more content for Phoenix Fire this year. Figure a farewell draft right before we dive into Modern Masters is a good spot. I hope to have several draft videos coming out for Modern Masters since that comes out tomorrow. Doing a league, just don't really feel like running through an 8-4 this morning, and yeah, hopefully we'll get this draft underway here shortly. Hope everyone's been enjoying the Modern Masters. I personally haven't got a chance to play any yet, so I'm pretty excited for tomorrow. Doubt I'll get a video up of the first draft or two, but next week during my days off my normal work, I plan on getting a little more content up. Not much to write about, so I apologize. I haven't gotten any articles out either. So let's dive on in though. Looks like a couple interesting cards here. Heroic Intervention's really no good as a first pick. Things that stand out to me right away are going to be Daredevil Dragster, which is a fine artifact, a little bit underwhelming to be honest. I'm a little more inclined to pick up something like Reckless Racer. 2/3 first strike. I mean, the first strike's great, and being able to loot is also not an ability to be scoffed at. Sweatworks Brawler is pretty good. Infiltrator's fine. The rest of the pack's kind of blah. I think I'm going to go with Reckless Racer. I've really enjoyed red decks in this format, and Racer's a pretty fine pickup here. So here we've got Swooper, Reverse Engineer, Sweatworks Brawler. Renegade map's pretty good as well. So to let you in on a little secret on pick 2, I love red-blue decks in this format. A lot of play to them, a lot of goods. So for me, it's going to come down to one of these 4: Sweatworks Brawler, Aether Sweeper, Reverse Engineer, or Renegade map. Consulate Dreadnought's actually better than you may think as well. I don't want to go too deep on that and then not be able to get like the siege modification or anything like that. So we're going to take the Aether Sweeper, and a good pick for us here as far as staying red goes. Scrapper Champion's a good magic card. Foundry Hornet is fine if you're like a +1/+1 type deck, pretty good in like green-black. Infiltrator's fine, but we're really not looking into black or white at this time. So I think it's pretty easy Scrapper Champion for us in that pack. I'd love to see, or we could just get like one of the best cards in this archetype. This card's pretty good too. It's not like great by any means. I wouldn't pick it up anywhere in like the first 4 picks, I don't think. I would also play Implement in this deck, so maybe we'll get that to wheel. Of course, these are going to be the 2 cards we hope to come back, but it's going to be doubtful we'll see either of those. They're both pretty powerful. Shock. 5th pick Shock is a pretty good sign that red is right where we want to be on this end of the table. Other cards I would pick up here would be Metallic Rebuke, Watchful Automaton. Illusionist Stratagem is good. The more ETB effects you have, of course. We have a couple like makes energy, but that's not particularly great. So Shock is definitely where we want to be here. Okay, so looks like white's pretty open. If we're seeing Deadeye Harpooner 6th pick, that's something we could look at instead of blue. We do have Ice Over, which is fine, but but seeing this Deadeye Harpooner feels like a bit more of a signal that we could get, you know, a good red-white deck going if we wanted to here. Outside of that, I mean, cards I would look to play would be Sailback, Ice Over, Deadeye Harpooner. As far as power level goes, I do think Harpooner is a little bit higher up on the list here. We'll go for it, and we'll see if, you know, where the rest of the draft kind of puts us. Implement of Examination's pretty good. We don't quite have the artifacts where I want to pick up the Rebuke yet, but then again, I mean, if we're playing red-blue, like, that's where we're going to end up anyways, where we pick up the artifacts later. This card is pretty good. It's good as far as tempo goes, which can be pretty powerful in these types of decks. I like blue implement more than the red implement. It's a little more expensive, but the ability to draw you cards goes a little bit further. I think we're going to take Rebuke and just know that we're going to get our artifacts. Wow. Like, this has to be some sort of a signal, right? Like, 8th pick, Dawn Feather Eagle. It's either this or Destructive Tampering, but this Dawn Feather Eagle is really, really good. We're gonna take it. This is just not what I wanted to see happen, really. Implement an Ice Over. If we do play blue, we'll need the artifacts, so we'll take Implement. This is pretty good to be seen fairly late. We'll take Moray. Wow. So good energy stuffs. I think we're doing okay in the field of blue-red. But we know we have white that we can fall back on, I guess, if we open a bomb. I don't necessarily think Call for Unity is that bomb that we're looking for either. I think the card that we want in this pack is Chandra's Revolution. This is powerful, this is powerful, this is bad. We would take this if it wheeled, we would also take this if it wheeled. But Chandra's Revolution, by far best pick for us here. Couple good picks here. Ether Chaser's good. We're gonna look to splash like Outland Boar here. Iron Tide Crusher's fine. Renegade Map is also pretty good if we were to look into splashing. I kinda like the beatdowny style of you can get out of red-blue with like the artifacts you get off your 2-drops, so then the Aether Swooper and Chaser. Plus it's just energy that if it's left leaving, or you know, if it's left around, we can scrap or champion it up to have a giant double striker. This card is pretty good, Battle off the Bridge, but we're not quite going to splash for either of these cards as good as they are. So I think we just take Inventor here. Negate's fine out of the sideboard, but these are both pretty good cards I wouldn't mind having if we were a red-black deck. But we are red-blue with some pretty good stuff already going on here. Wow, this is a tough pick actually. So this is out. This is okay, this is great, this is good. we can't group creatures separately yet, so let's see. We've got a revolution that we would benefit from that. A metallic rebuke we would get off of that. Little loot action. I just don't know if Brawl is better than a Chandra's revolution here. We do need some creatures. I think the removal spell is always going to be better there. Okay, so a couple cards we could pick up here. I kind of need a couple earlier creatures. I do like these cards, but I think Drake just goes higher than these anyway, so. We'll take a Hope. Wrangle's fine. There's really nothing else here for us, but Hope gives us another artifact that we can help out on a couple things. A couple cards here we really want too. So we may see a Leave in the Dust later. I think it's Sweatworks Brawler. This hits a little harder. The artifact creatures to really justify even wanting that. I don't know how many giant things we want at the top end of the curve necessarily either. We have one rebuke, which is good, so we'll take the automaton that we so desperately wanted and needed. We'll take an ice over. We'll take a negate to the board. So this deck's shaping up okay so far. We need to really fill out the 2 and 3 spot in our curve a bit more. Probably won't play both Morays. I don't know, we'll see what happens in Kaladesh, but so far so good. We'd take probably 1 or 2 more removal spells and a couple good creatures, but very available. Oh wow, I'll definitely take this. Destructive Tampering's a very good card that gets kind of overlooked, I feel like, sometimes in this format, and we're pretty happy to get one that late. There we go. So these are like all cards I would actually consider playing, honestly. I mean, that's like, nobody's playing black, it looks like, if we're getting last pick Night Market Aeronaut. It's not a great card, but it's not as bad as you would think either. This is a really good pack for us here. We could go 2 directions. Yeah, we can go 2 directions with this pack here. It's Aether Torch Renegade or the Aviator. Bomat Courier doesn't quite do enough in our deck, doesn't provide enough artifacts, it doesn't, really do much in the early game short of maybe attack once or twice. We have a couple ways to make energy, which makes Aether Torch Renegade a little more appealing. Shielded Aether Thief will make energy if it blocks, so 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. So a couple ways that we can make energy and just win with a Renegade, but at the same time, this is, well, we only have a couple things that really want the Improvise off of that. We don't have much that really benefits from having the artifacts either. We'll take the Aviator. Wow. Well then. So I would love to hear some feedback on this pick. If anybody caught the way through the draft, I am inclined to take Chief of the Foundry. But my goodness, Angel of Invention is just a huge bomb. I guess we just take the card that's good for our deck and hope we don't play against the Angel. There's no point in hate picking, right? So we never saw much in the way of vehicles. So it's this. I don't have expensive artifacts that, like, I mean, having this pack is difficult. Kaladesh has been difficult for us. I do like goggles quite a bit. I think we'll go with it. Two good cards here for us in Pyrohelix and Malfunction. I mean, we could have just cleaned up it. We switched to white, I feel like, right now. We're gonna go with the Pyrohelix. So this could wheel. This obviously will not. Copy. Not yet necessarily holding up mana though. I'm almost more tempted to take this and hope we see a second. And we have quite a bit of removal. I actually really like Thriving Turtle in this format. Call me crazy, but it's not bad. I'll take another Helix to the board. That's pretty freaking crazy. So it's Gremlin or Module, and I think Module's probably just better. Ambition's pretty good. I always like to have one in the deck. I just don't want to play against that card. So we have a deck. It's it's not the red-white deck with, you know, Angel of Innovation we thought we might have. Or Angel of Invention, forgive me. But you know, we have a deck that definitely does a couple things here and there. Namely Beats Down, which I can always get behind in this format, so we have more than enough playables, which is also always exciting. Alright, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this and figure out what we're going to be playing. the Giant, we want the Brawler, we want the Champion, we want the Revolutions, we want the Reckless Racers. I'll take one of those for now. One Ambition, at least one of those, at least one of those. And I would play the one Ice over. Of course, Chief. I usually like to play 16 in these decks. It doesn't look terrible. The cards we can look at. And 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some removal, some card draw. A little weak in the air. I don't know, we have to combat that though. Guess some removal. I think this is going to be it. Yeah, this deck's fine. I give it like a B. Probably a B, yeah. We'll go ahead and save this. We'll get back for round 1 here in a second. Appreciate you guys watching. And as we say farewell to Aether with Old Kaladesh, and get ready to welcome in the wonderful, wonderful World of Modern Masters drafts tomorrow. So appreciate you guys watching. Look forward to round 1. Thanks so much.